Good evening. As you know, we showed part 1, or posted part 1 of my testimony. And you got to see that. And some of you were blessed by it. Some of you were, I don't know, whatever. Because I know there are some people who were turned off by it and some were turned on by it. It's by Christ who's doing this thing through me. It wasn't me. I mean, it was me on the camera, but as you know, I only say what God puts in my heart. So here's part 2. And once again, may your hearts be receptive and your minds be alert. Talk to you afterwards. So yes, I made many mistakes. But for some odd reason, I did not give up believing that God had called me to preach. So in 1993, I was ordained by God. I had tried many times of going through some kind of Bible school. Bible courses through my church. Getting A's, being promised that it was going to transfer over. They don't even know where my records are. They don't even have my records anymore. I don't know where they're at. Went to a non-denominational Christian college. Years after I was trying to go to another college for computers. Work with computers and computer graphics. I spent over 10 years trying to just get a simple bachelor's degree. All because I moved too fast. I finally gave up on trying to go to school. When I even tried to go to school, online courses in criminal justice, which I was doing great in my classes. But my body couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the strain. It was when I started, my wife and I, Lisa, when we were married almost a year by that time, had started going to Brand New Church. And you can find that at www.brandnewchurch.org. And while I was going there, I started feeling in my spirit and believing I was hearing from God that I had to go back to school. Oh, I did not want to hear those words. Last time I went to a Christian college, I got ridiculed because I married somebody while I was there, and then she wanted to leave me. And so forth. So I was not liked very well by my faculty, even by the Dean of Academics. In fact, the Dean of Academics was telling me that they could not even guarantee that I'd pass the character check, which would have to be, I'd have to do in order to get my degree, my bachelor's degree in being a pastor. I was going through my second year at that school, but I was having a lot of health problems at the time. I was being told that I would not probably graduate because they thought that I would not even pass a character check. Well, phooey on them. So I said, I had it. I've had it. No more. No more. Although I was thinking, well, maybe I'm supposed to go to Rhema Bible Training Center in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, because at the time I was going to the church whose pastor was the regional director for Rhema and had graduated from Rhema. And I was not... Rhema was not new to me. I have heard of Kenneth Hagin most of my years. I had believed when I first came back to the Lord at the age of 19 that I was going to go to Rhema. So I think, okay, this is what God wants me to do. I started having problems with my employment, which you don't want to know how many times I've had a job. And because of health problems, have lost it. Let's just say I think I've worked for almost 100 employers since the age of 16. And I am now 37 going on 38. Not a very good track record, is it? Not in the eyes of the world. And not in God's eyes unless I ask Him to forgive me, and I have asked Him to forgive me. You know what? The Bible reveals to us that when we ask Him for forgiveness, He has no memory of it. It doesn't just mean that when you were a sinner and you become born again, it doesn't mean that He's not going to forgive you for the mistakes you make afterwards. And boy, have I made some doozies. And I'm not ashamed of what I've done anymore. I'm not ashamed of who I am or who I've become or whatever. I know I've shamed my family, my parents, my own mom at times, my relatives, ashamed of the school I was attending. But it was through the pastor at Brand New Church. Through him, I was able to get connected with Luther Rice University and Seminary. So I picked back up where I left off. Worked at Walmart, went to school. Worked at Walmart, went to school. I did it online. I did all my classes online. Not easy. Especially when I was sick so many times and I've had to go to the doctor so many times with a written excuse for my employer to excuse it. I worked at Walmart for a year and a half. Went through from one department to another. Thought by doing this it would let me learn the store. Well, the longer I was doing this, the more my body was breaking down. The more I was getting sick. I mean, I even had shingles either 2 times or 3 times in less than a year's time. Something was going on.